As a parent, firstly, it's a new space for it, right? Because usually you are the most informed one in the room, but here, actually, it's the child who has way more information about a particular game. So, how do you personally overcome this change of position in a manner? Usually, it's like you are the supplier of information, but here you're actually the receiver. So, how do you personally overcome it?
For me, I really have to let go a little bit, which is a scary concept, right? So my son is so into Minecraft. He's watching YouTube videos. He's following influencers. I mean, I know who the influencers are. So like, I feel comfortable with that. It's not anyone I'm worried about him watching. And he is learning at a rate that far exceeds my capacity, right? Like I have a job, I have work. I'm very good at the tech I need to do my job. I'm very good at sort of understanding those workflows. But when it comes to Minecraft, like he's just on a learning curve that's exponentially beyond where I'm at. And at some point, I kind of have to learn to let go. I credit, my teaching career was very similar. I was very competent at Twitter, for example, in 2008, well beyond my students. But what I wasn't understanding was how they were choosing to engage with the platform. That was the learning curve I had to figure out. And what I saw very quickly is the way they're engaging with social media, from 2008 to 2015 was vastly different than what I was doing, what they valued, how they communicated. And so that was a good time for me just to ask a lot of questions, to have them sort of explain to me. I think as a parent, if you're kind of open, it's just like, well, if you understand that, could you tell me how you're doing that? For example, it might be on Instagram, like, hey, if something happened, do you know how to report this content? Could you show me how to do that? And present it more as a teachable moment. I think as parents, there's this societal expectation on several levels. One is that parents, we know everything, right? Like, which is, if you've been a parent, is totally not true. Like, we know nothing. My favorite line from my mom came many years later. She's like, we have no idea how you kids turned out perfect. Like, we were totally just making it up as we went. You all came out good. Like, we feel positive about that. Something worked, right? And so that was like a good moment for me as a new parent, where I'm just like, all right, if my parents didn't know what they're doing and we came out okay, then, we're going to figure this out. And so there's that part. The second lesson came from a friend of mine. He came over to the house one time. We're having a dinner and there's a bunch of kids' toys on the floor. And he said, I felt really relieved. I'm like, why are you relieved? He's like, we have toys all over the floor too. Like, we just thought you and your wife were these perfect parents, but yet like your house is messy like our house. And we're just really worried about it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know how you stay on top of it. We cleaned it this morning. An hour later, the toys are everywhere. Like, it's just, there's no controlling that. So, understanding that, I think as all parents that we can have those conversations, that we're all trying to figure it out. There's a ton of stuff hitting us at once. I think it's happening more quickly now, say in 2020 than it was in 2000, for example. But if we can sort of have that empathy in terms of, speaking with other parents, I think if we can have that understanding with our kids of like, hey, you're living this, can you show me how to report stuff on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter? Can you show me, the types of videos that you're following? I do that with my daughter where, she's not old enough to have her own TikTok account, but I know she loves TikTok. So I will follow videos and then we'll watch them on my phone together. And it might be cooking videos, it could be dance videos, and then we'll talk about what we like about those videos and why we like them and what's appealing about them. Same with your YouTube videos. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of who my kids follow on YouTube. It is not my favorite content in the world, but it gives me an opportunity to watch something with them, to talk about it, to see what they're engaged in, what they're interested in. And then if something comes up that we need to have a conversation about, then that opportunity is there.